What's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so Big Shot Rob says you have to do the trade, Lakers. You have to trade LeBron James for Kevin Durant. Now, I didn't get no context as to why he said that or what his point of view is. Just saw the quote itself. He said that only two players that ain't getting traded in this league are Luka and Steph. Everybody else should be on the block. If the Nets wanted to trade KD for LeBron James, he said the Lakers have to do that. Now, I say the Lakers have to do that if LeBron James is not signing an extension as well. To be honest with you, that's not necessarily the trade you make per se, although it is probably the best one available. But the point is, if he's not going to be staying, you do have to try to retain something for him. But I think my gut says that the Lakers don't believe he's leaving. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he ain't going to bounce. I don't know how much my belief in their belief should hold weight. That's, I guess, what I'm saying. I don't know that speculation should hold as much weight, but that is what I'm giving you. I don't think the Lakers expect him to leave because I think they expect that he likes living in Los Angeles that much and that the Clippers will not be opening up a roster spot for him. So if he doesn't want to make it here, he's going to have to leave LA. Now, he could go up to Golden State maybe, but it doesn't look like Golden State wants to blow up what they have to bring in a legend. They ain't going to do it for KD, and they're not going to do it for LeBron James, in my opinion. So if that's where he has his eyes on, I don't think that spot is open right now. That's the thing. It's like if I'm LeBron James, I don't want to leave the Lakers because there's not a better place for me necessarily right now, especially in this untradeable climate. I don't want to land in Brooklyn. If I'm LeBron James, I might have thought about Brooklyn back in the day when they first became a thing. But now that we've had some length against that, now that we've seen what Brooklyn is, the hype and the excitement of them being a new franchise in New York is not there anymore. I don't see him having any desire to play there necessarily. I'm sure he'd pick there before some of these other markets, but just to be traded there, I don't think they can bring him what he wants. I think he's in a better spot here, obviously. So I heard Skip Bayless say something about him and Ben Simmons can make it work. I don't like it. That's why I didn't want Ben Simmons on this team. It's exactly why I didn't want Ben on this team, because I don't like that fit. That fit is awful to me. You got two non-shooters there. I mean, of course, Bron's going to attempt threes, and he goes through stretches where he really can hit them. But, you're asking a lot of LeBron James in terms of spacing the floor if you're going to slap him next to Ben Simmons. Now, the passing and the playmaking down there would be second to none. Simply second to none. But I can think of a lot better fit to try to maneuver. Now, those two big bodies, what they can do defensively, listen. If I'm slapping together LeBron James and Ben Simmons fully healthy, it's not like I'm sitting here screaming they need to be traded. No, I'm going to give it a shot, but I just don't love Ben Simmons in any situation where he's not surrounded by elite shooting. And so that's the bottom line. Two non-floor spacers on the floor to that degree, where Ben's degree is at, he's not even going to attempt a three. Nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. Now, if he's changed that around and now he's going to attempt more threes this year, or some threes this year, we'll change our tune. Once he becomes someone who's a threat to space the floor, we change our tune. And judging by what I've seen in regards to his form in the practice videos I've been watching his whole damn career, he's not a bad three-point shooter. It's just, that's just a part of what he has to overcome within himself. So with that being said, if he starts attempting them, I think he'll actually start hitting them. I think he'll probably be a 32-point three-point shooter, 32% three-point shooter probably out the gate. I don't think he's bad at all. So we'll figure out if that changes as we see him play. But till further notice, he should not be slapped together with anybody that cannot space the floor properly. So, no, I don't agree with Skip on that. Absolutely not. However, there are situations where you can move Ben Simmons and bring Bron in, obviously. Once you bring Bron in, you only have him for half a season if you're the Nets. So moving the world to accommodate him for half a season is just stupid. You do better just bringing in, someone that's on multiple years or a different type of return for KD, for which it looks like they're waiting for anyway. So, do I agree with Robert Horry? Only if we know LeBron isn't staying, and if that's the case, it's not about valuing LeBron no more. It's about getting something for someone who's leaving. So, at that point, I'm trying to get something for anybody who walks out. But Yeah, no. For me, I mean, it's wisdom on both sides, man. At the end of the day, KD's on a 4-year deal. So if he were to come back and say, look, LeBron's out, I want to play for the Lakers. Like, the only reason why I don't want to play for y'all is because of him. And if he says something like that, then it hurts your feelings. Like, damn, I don't want to give up on Bron, but like, that's 4 guaranteed years. You probably bring that to the table. Say, listen, Bron, we need you to sign this, homie. Like, straight up, we need you to sign this because this guy got 4 years. You're only on 1, and you're not guaranteeing. So, I guess you can kind of try to weigh that as leverage somewhat to get him to sign, but I don't think that's going to move him at all. All he's going to say is no. No. So, I don't know. I don't think I necessarily play that game with LeBron James if I'm the Lakers. I don't. Especially not if KD's not screaming and hollering, I love the Lakers and want to play for purple and gold. Like, if he's not hooting and hollering about us, there's absolutely no reason to even consider something crazy like that. So, all in all, nah, that's not real. That's not real, y'all. It does make conventional sense based on the years, but that's not happening. And it's not necessarily the right decision for the Lakers. In my opinion, you got to let him make his decision. And also, I'm hesitant to bring in a 4-year contract at this point for anybody. Because if they're not happy, it's not a 4-year contract. It's just something that's holding them hostage in their mind. So until that is worked out, if I'm an owner, I kind of want guys like LeBron James on 1 or 2 year deals. I kind of prefer that, especially for older players. It's like, bro, I want to be able to get out from under that massive price tag if for some reason you fall off a cliff. That's also valuable to me if I'm an owner. Like, yeah, for the player, having some being locked up is great. For owners, not unless I believe that guy's going to be that. If he's not, if I don't project him to be that for the next 4 years, then I'm not signing up for nothing I'm going to be happy with. So, looking at KD's contract at his age, I mean, me personally, I feel great about KD 4 years starting now because I believe in KD's game, but I also believe in my ability to supplement what it is that I don't think he's going to be bringing to the table too. I know I'm going to put extra wing defenders around him. I know I'm going to have extra size to complement his length, speed that can kind of complement him slowing down, going left to right. I'm gonna complement him with certain things. I'm not gonna just slap him on the floor with 2 non-defensive guards like he wants. I would never do that. Sorry, I don't believe in that style of play, as you guys know. I'm a balanced guy. I'm gonna make sure KD is my scorer. Then I'll probably have another couple of scorers. The rest is gonna be pick and plug players that deserve to be on the floor based on what they can do in other aspects of the game. I don't need to overload on scoring and then have people, driving at the basket at 100% clip. Like, we need rim protection. We need all these different things. So that's what I would do. I would assure that we have all that in place. So the question is, because KD wants to be slapped together with 2 point guards or 2 guards that can't defend, will he be happy if I bring him in? Based on the style of basketball that he seems to want to play with, he's probably not going to like me as a GM. And see, that's what he's running into as well. So it's like, if I had him on for 2 years, we can give it a test drive and see if it works. And if for some reason it doesn't work, I can trade him at the halfway point a year and a half from now. But if I got him on for 4 years, this isn't an audition for me and him. This is us agreeing to come together, and then the expectation is if I don't meet expectations, he's going to bounce early, making this problem come back around for us like it did for the other guys we traded him for. Traded everything to get him. So no. And then you realize you don't have picks because you've traded everything to get him. So now it's like, if you want to get out of this, it's going to be difficult to do so. You got to attach a whole lot of stuff you don't want to attach just because you've already given up pick equity to acquire it. You certainly don't have it to get rid of him. And so that may cost you, given the fact that he'll turn into a multiple time ask outer, so to speak, demander that decreases the values we've seen. So, like, for example, if James Harden tries to demand a trade from the Philadelphia 76ers, although I 100% do not think that's coming, if for some reason something like that were to happen, I think his value is going to be trashed. I think the Sixers may actually have to attach something to get rid of him. Even though he's a hell of a player, it's just like, for a fact he's going to ask out. It's not even about if. It's like, all right, this is just a pattern with the homie. So KD could run into that if for some reason he goes somewhere and doesn't like where he's at and then gets traded again. So this is where we look at the situation. We just say, all right, well, all in all, as we've always said, KD's going to have to go back to Brooklyn. He's going to have to audition to see if people want to get this contract from the Brooklyn Nets, and then from there, the Brooklyn can part ways with it responsibly instead of just hastily giving it away in this ridiculous market. So that's been my running theme the whole time since we've come to terms that there ain't really much of a trade out there for him. The Lakers are not going to budge on AD, it seems. Doesn't seem so. And I think that's the best trade for Brooklyn if they were to try to make a trade for KD, even though everybody doesn't agree with that. I know it is the case. So it's just now about whether or not they're going to make a move in this climate. And judging by what I'm seeing, it looks like the Knicks may make a move. They may try to do something, but I don't think the Nets are going to do nothing, and I don't think the Lakers are really close either. The further this thing gets into the trade deadline, in my opinion, not trade deadline, closer to the season starts with the Kyrie Irving Laker thing, I think it's less likely that the Lakers are going to give up more equity to get him in trade. The longer this drags out, the less the Lakers are going to be willing to give up, in my opinion. So the Nets better hurry up, man, as it pertains to Kyrie Irving, because they're sitting on a situation where Kyrie's representation has already told them that he did never want to leave Brooklyn. And we talked about this as well. And what that means to me is, you know what it takes to keep me. I'm Kyrie. You know what it takes to keep me. I never wanted to leave Brooklyn. I always wanted to be in Brooklyn. In fact, I want to be in Brooklyn for 5 long years without all them weird old contingencies that are in place to keep me behaving in such a way that doesn't come naturally to me. You want me to be a version of Kyrie Irving that I'm not. So if you want me, you got to let me be me, and you got to pay me what my talent and my name ultimately demands. You know what I mean? And I think that's the stance that Kai has been taking with the Brooklyn Nets, and I think that's the stance that he is taking in regards to them now. That's the stance. Yeah, I want to be with you guys under my terms. That's it. Yeah, I definitely want to be there for 5 years, for sure. With my buddy KD. He wants to be here too. So let's do what it takes to make that happen, which is 5 years, absorbing an amount, no crazy contingencies. I don't think Brooklyn's going to put that on the table. I didn't feel they were going to put that on the table last time we talked about it. And so I still think that the likelihood is that he ends up a Laker now. How soon? I don't know. That's up to Brooklyn, really, honestly. If we're going to just be completely real about it, it's up to them. They have to agree to take what the Lakers are going to give them. Because the Lakers are not going to budge at all. We know we ain't budging. We're not. We will hold this all the way out and bring Russell back, as we've talked about. It's not going to be a big deal on this channel to me because, honestly, that $47 million coming off the books next year with one of those guys, one of them free agents we're going to want. It may be Kyrie Irving, it may be somebody else, but at the end of next season, when LeBron James is up for extension, we're going to have so much flexibility. If he does bounce, we're going to be able to get trade equity off of the strength of that flexibility alone. We could trade for picks. We could take on of Evan Fournier and fleece New York Knicks for 2 first-rounders off of the strength of that cap space coming off of the books, being available to take that bad contract in. So there are ways you can get a lot better just off of the strength of keeping Russell Westbrook and punting the season, so to speak. Even though I don't think it's all that much of a punt, because I don't think he's going to play that bad. I think we're going to have a much better system, and I think we're going to use him much smarter than Frank Vogel did. So he'll probably look more like a Russell Westbrook that we can deal with than a Russell Westbrook that we saw, even if we do keep him. So do I want to bring him back? I do not, but I also don't want to overpay for expiring contract. I don't want to do that. I don't think that helps anybody, including Kyrie when he gets here, having less talent for acquiring him. Absolutely not. We got to do right by everybody. We're trying to go for championships, and if we're not going for that, we're just wasting people's time, and you know that's precious time for these type of players. So we got to do it right or don't do it at all. And I don't think giving up 2 picks for a guy that we can get, if he's bought out, quite honestly. Now, if they want to take stuff that we want to give, hooray. But If they're going to call our bluff and continue to act the way that they've been acting, then we'll call that bluff. We'll bring him back, and the fans can whine about it if they want to, but people like myself will sit here and be like, yep, because we're not going to do what they want us to do just because they need what they need. We're not doing that. So that's what I'm supporting. Bring Russell back if the Nets are going to continue to play hardball with Kyrie Irving's rights. Nah. Because at the end of the day, I'm with him on this. If they really want him back, they'll pay him properly. Give him what he wants. If they don't, then we know what it is. So why we have to give up anything? We know what happens when they go back to the drawing board after not trading. So why pretend we don't know what happens? We know what happens there. They're going to go back to the drawing board and not give him his money. That's what's going to happen. I'm not giving up anything. My name is BDL44. Thank you all for watching.